Hey Ifbb fam, it's Coach Ryan from TeamFFLEX, TeamFFLEX. Thank you for being here and checking out my YouTube. Please make sure you subscribe. I got tons of great content for you. You simply will not get anywhere else. So today what we're talking about is Olympia. So it's just now the weekend past 2019 Olympia. Had a great experience there with my team at TeamFFLEX. But I wanted to talk more about the fact that there's a brand new Bikini Olympia champion. And so what I thought we would do today is kind of revisit Bikini as a whole since it's been around, review all the Olympians, real quick, and kind of talk about how the sport has evolved, how everything has kind of changed in Bikini over the years. So with that being said, we are starting this up talking about Sonia Gonzalez in 2010 as the very first Miss Bikini Olympia. Okay, and she was out here. You're about to see her pop up on the screen. Back then, a good muscle base, not crazy on the conditioning. The shape was quite a bit different. So we're looking at a more kind of squared out shape for Bikini to start. The old poses, we're looking at the back pose here, not crazy on the glute development, not crazy posterior chain development or conditioning for that matter in 2010 with Sonia Gonzalez. And then we're gonna roll right into 2011, Nicole Negrani. And right here, we're gonna see already a pickup in muscular development. So she's got a little bit more muscle in the legs. We're still rocking those old style bikini poses. And into her back pose, still not crazy in the glute development, right? Like the glute development has changed a lot over the years. Back in 2011, not crazy there. A little bit more wide in the shoulders and stuff like that here. Then we're rolling right into Natalia Mello in 2012. Natalia here has put on quite a bit more muscle by this point in time. So 2012, we're getting a lot more muscle, lower and upper, with better conditioning. You can see her abs coming through, and then rolling into the back pose. Glutes are starting to become more developed, hamstrings are becoming more developed, upper body's more developed. Everything's kind of advancing as we go, right? So conditioning and muscle's getting better. 2013 now rolling in with Ashley Callouts taking the title for Olympia that year. She's got similar muscularity, similar shape as Natalia, and bringing up the level of conditioning here. So more muscle, more conditioning. Now you can start to see hamstrings and glute ties popping through with Ashley when she debuted as a champion in Olympia 2013. And then rolling right into 2014, she takes the title yet again. Now what we're seeing here is more kind of the modern, today's style bikini shape. Legs developed, shoulders much more developed, midsection is tight, abs are showing, better conditioning all around. Hamstrings are developed, glute ties happening, glutes are developed, shoulders, everything's getting more balanced, more bodybuilding. So as the physiques go, getting more muscular and more conditioned, right? Ashley Callouts again in 2015, bringing a whole new, again, advanced look. Basically the same thing, building on the principles, more conditioning now, more muscularity. The poses are starting to change a bit, more upright in the back pose, but we're still seeing the same thing. Muscle development, conditioning, advancing year after year, all the way up into 2016. Courtney King taking the title here. And as we can see, this is where the hourglass shape really starts to take shape here. The tight waist, the well-developed legs, the well-developed shoulders, that's kind of the shape that was brought there with Courtney King. A little bit different on the back poses. Some of the poses, it's not like today's poses, but we're seeing the same things. Development, upper to lower body symmetry, really matching that hourglass shape, carving through. Angelica Teixeira takes it in 2017. This is her first title, and as we see it here, really good muscle development now happening. The muscularity has advanced to a higher degree. We see it in her quads, we see it in her hamstrings, her glutes, her shoulders. Muscle ratio was great, front pose was great into that hourglass kind of shape, and she rolls that right into last year, 2018, where she took the title again. And basically this time she kind of downsized her physique a little bit, but she's following the same thing. She's following the same rules of, the tight, tiny waist and the wide shoulders that are capped, with the legs being developed and the hamstring glute tie coming through just like they want to see in this division. With that, now Angelica has not been champion again this year, 2019. We are looking at the new bikini champion right here, Lisa Piccini, as 2019 bikini champion. And this is a crazy diversion off the main physique, really, right? It's a whole other look. realistically a lot more shoulder development than we've seen before. A really hourglass shape going on here. So her legs and her shoulders, they match great. She's got a really tight, tiny waist though. This is something we haven't seen in former bikini champions yet, where this is the most advanced and kind of developed look we've seen for the bikini division, period. The shoulders are capped wide. She's got wide lats tying into that tight V-taper waist, and her legs match her upper body great. So it's no doubt that she's deserving of the title this year, and that's kind of how the bikini, division has advanced over the years. Is basically every year, year after year, we're looking at getting more, muscle, more symmetry, more shape, more conditioning, over and over and over until now. Here we are, 2019, with Ifbb Bikini being the champion, and that is what we are looking at as the new bikini Olympian. So the standard here to go is going to be unseen before. It hasn't been seen in this division, in the sport of NPC Ifbb Bikini, that we've had a champion that has this, different of a physique realistically, right? Like a lot of the top girls this year did look similar, but she's setting a whole new example for kind of how the sport should be. This is kind of setting a whole new example for how the judges want to be. The second place woman, she also had a really strong hourglass shape. So I'm going to say the bikini right now, as it sits, as the head judges are judging, as it's been judged at Olympia, is really focusing on this hourglass type shape. So they want to see the shoulders and all that be well developed, matching good development in the glutes and the legs for sure, and they want to see it tie into a tight, tiny waist. And so that's really what we're seeing here with Ifbb, and that's what we're going to probably see going forward with the judging, because now when we look at the Olympia, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at the pinnacle of the sport, right? The top of the sport, the people that are doing the best, the performing the best, they are the Olympians. And so when we see how the judges are judging that, it's a good marker for how it's kind of going to be judged moving forward. And so this year, I'm seeing a difference in what they're doing with the bikini physique, and I am pleased with it for sure. Ifbb is not too hard. She's not too crazy developed, like to a point where it's, insane. They were getting really hard with bikini for a while, it seemed like, and I mean hard as far as conditioning goes, very low body fat. Now I think we're kind of returning to the classic sort of bikini physique. Obviously different ratios, obviously different proportions, but the conditioning is not a crazy on Ifbb itself. She's got the shape down, she's got the right aesthetics, the right muscularity, and the right conditioning. So that's obviously why she is now the bikini Olympian. So I think they also are judging this a little bit differently now to take it as a hard turn away from what could be compared to wellness coming up in 2020. So as we know, as I've talked about on my channel, wellness is coming, and it's going to be a much more muscle version of bikini, where they're going to have well developed legs, well developed glutes, a little bit more boxiness in the waist based on what I've seen so far. It's not a really small waist. It's kind of more straight up and down type physique. It's a more muscle bikini. So when you have more muscle, it kind of brings that shape to you either way. Get a little bit thicker all around. And that's kind of what the wellness division is looking like. It's going to be, in the same level of conditioning, but with a lot more muscle. And so the muscle kind of squares out the frame. Here right now, we're seeing not a squared out frame at all. We're seeing this classic X shape, the hourglass figure being, coming through really hard here in, Ifbb taking the championship. And so that's what I think is one of the reasons that this year it looks significantly different. Looking back, clearly can see where it started, and even with Angelica, how Ifbb is taking it to a new level now with the physiques, and the judges are placing her first because that's what they want to see coming forward. So basically, I think it's in a turn, away from wellness, being like, okay, we're making some delineations now. You got to know where wellness is going to be. You got to know what figure looks like. You got to know how bikini's going to look. And so with that, they're going to place these champions accordingly so that the standard of the sport, where we should be moving, what we should be looking to do. And so that's really exciting news on all fronts, obviously pro and amateur, that now we have a new kind of look coming. We got a new shape coming for bikini, and it's going to be huge in 2020 now, because now we can see how the rest of the sport shapes out, how everything looks, but obviously the head judges at the table of Olympia are setting the tone for the standard of the judging that is going to come down in the pro ranks, in the amateur ranks, in all the kind of ranks around. So just kind of want to throw this video together as a quick little overview, a quick, look into the sport as to how it's kind of evolved, how it's developed, and how it can be different, how it's going to be different. It's really exciting, honestly. It's going to be a great 2020, but we're not even done this year yet. Still 2019. We still got 4 months to go in the year, and there's still plenty and plenty of shows to go, or 3 months now. Plenty of shows to go, plenty of things to do. It's just exciting to see the sport, continue to develop, evolve, and take turns for the better, honestly. Like, as things get more and more refined, as these judging policies and, rules become more and more hammered in, it's more consistent now than it's ever been. I'll say that. I've seen this now. It's more consistent than it has ever been, and we're going to have a cool, whole new kind of division next year with everything coming in with the wellness and all that, and that's going to kind of shape out the whole sport in a different way for these women's divisions. So, super excited. Just kind of want to throw this together. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you did, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and please share it for me. This is Coach Rye, and I'm out.